Hi. So it's Halloween. I haven't uploaded a video in months. The long story short of it all is it's been a hell of a year. So we're just going to do a little wrap up, a Halloween wrap up. I've got my costume on. So where did we leave off? Mad Monster. I haven't done a video for Mad Monster yet, which is wild because there was so much to talk about. There's just so much to talk about that I just haven't done it yet. But Mad Monster was fun. It was a great experience. I just kind of wanted to clear my mind because the last time I filmed it, I started crying. But we met Robert England, my husband away from my husband. I love him so much. He was an angel. We met Fiona Dorff, the love of my life. Ken Kersinger, absolute sweetheart. Brad Dorff, he was so sweet. I kind of shocked him because I was like, hey, I loved you in One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. I loved you as Billy Bibbit. And he was like, what? I was like, yeah, I love Billy Bibbit. He was like one of my favorite characters. And he looked at me, he was like, I didn't think anyone of your age group was like familiar with that. I was like, well, you ruined me, thanks. Robert England was a total sweetheart, like I said. I've always wanted to meet him. I've had the biggest crush on him for years. Met him and lost my ever-loving mind. The fact I didn't make myself look like more of a fool is astounding. That was a really fun time. I would love to make a more thorough video about it, really talk through everything, but like it was just so much, I don't even know how to compartmentalize it. So that happened. Let's see. I got diagnosed as autistic. That's fun. That stressed me the out. But I went and did an autism diagnosis, which I've been looking into for a few years, and my parents were like, oh, you're probably just OCD. And my husband was like, no, you're ADHD. And so I went, I was like, all right, I want to get tested for OCD, ADHD, and autism. Because if any of those are a possibility, I don't want to like leave anything on the table. I want to know that we're testing for everything. And so I did it. And they said, you are not OCD, you are not ADHD, you are actually autistic. So that's great. I love that. It answered so many questions. Growing up, I really didn't have a lot of friends, and fitting into groups felt difficult. Like, they would welcome me in, and then eventually it kind of just felt like I was an outcast, and I just didn't fit in with anyone. It felt like it answered a lot of questions that I had. So I'm really glad I did that. It was so expensive, but I'm very happy that I did that for myself. That just was my big summer. We went to an Einstein Kills concert, which was phenomenal. It was Einstein Kills, Dayseeker, Funeral Portrait, Mest, and Kim Dracula. We got VIP, so my husband just sat in the VIP room until Einstein Kills came on. And I saw Dayseeker and Funeral Portrait, both amazing performances. Still on my playlist to this day. And then Einstein Kills. I have no videos or pictures from that because I was just about to flip over the railing. Because we were in the pit. I got in the balcony, but like first row of the balcony, so we could see everything. And what a show! It was so good. Top moment was definitely Worst Vacation. That is my favorite song right now and for the past few months. It just goes so hard. And Greatest Story Ever Told, two of the top songs that they performed that night. I did get the VIP, and I got to meet Einstein Kills, and I talked to Ricky mostly. That was embarrassing because I went up there. I was like, hey, nice to meet you. And I looked at Ricky and I handed them a gift. I got a little gift for them. And Ricky, he was like, I'll put the picture right here. It's so bad. Well, because of me, not them. Well, it's Ricky's fault. But Ricky was like, all right, what are you looking forward to? Go. I looked at him. I said, y'all took 2 of my favorite songs off the set list. And he looked at me. He's like, I don't have control over that. And I walked by. I walked away. I was like, oh my God, he thinks I'm a freak. He thinks I'm a bitch. And it was haunting me. Like, I felt so bad. It was haunting me. But Ricky does this thing called Intro Live, where you can like get a 10-minute like video call with him. And so I was like, would it be wild if I booked one and apologized? I was like, Ricky, I'm here to clear my name. He was like, oh. I said, no, I need you to understand, it's been haunting me for the past 2 weeks that I said this. And he was like, no, that was funny. So we had 10 minutes. We just kind of made up. He forgave me. He said it's chill. It's fine. And we had a good conversation. Like, it was a really good conversation. It was so fun. I would definitely get another one. I plan to. I'm stalking Intro. He's such a blast to talk to. And if that's how I can talk to him, that's how I'm going to talk to him. I don't care. But, he's just so funny. And we started talking about college and education and money. It was good. It was a good time. I started listening to his band Hawk, formerly This or the Apocalypse. I started listening to Hawk. I was like, this hits. So, because, I mean, if a celebrity is, a good person, genuinely, fun and, sweet and stuff, I would want to, check out their other stuff more. So, before I met him, I was like, I knew about it, I wasn't sure if I was into it. And then talked to him, had an actual one-on-one, and I was like, alright, let's see what this is about. Why not? It slaps so hard, and it summed up my year. There's this one song, Mileage, summed up my year, and I ended up getting some of those lyrics tattooed. I'll put a picture right up here. The story of how all that happened was, I had wanted the lyrics tattooed. I wanted lyrics in general tattooed above my knee, and I didn't know what lyrics. It was gonna be Ice and I Killed lyrics, and it was gonna be Funeral Portrait lyrics, and then I heard Hawk. They have this lyric in the song Mileage that says, sad and funny, right? That shit's the best. And I felt like that really summed up my year, because I was going through, even in the past few months, going through so much, and I was still making jokes, making little sillies and stuff. And I was talking to my mom even before I heard the song. I was like, people think I'm chill because I'm posting on Facebook and posting memes, but no one is checking up on me because they think I'm cool. I'm fine. And so when I heard that lyric, I was like, that's it. That's I'm stuck. So, come to find out, their merch designer, or one of their merch designers, tattoos in Richmond. So I contacted her. I was like, do you want to do this Hawk tattoo? She was all for it and knocked it out of the park. I love her. I'm going back to her in a few weeks to get another tattoo and get her to look at it to make sure it doesn't need any touch-ups. It might need some. I feel like, unless I'm looking too deep, it might need some. I'm not sure. And then I think the last thing that we did that I have not vlogged, we went to Nightmare Weekend. Nightmare Weekend / anime. It was anime and horror. And we weren't originally going to go. And then they started announcing more celebrities. And I was like, nah, we gotta go. So they announced Alex Vincent, Christine Elise from Chucky. And because we had Fiona and Brad sign a box set of Chucky, I was like, we have to get them to sign the box set. And of course, I met them. They were sweet. And they signed the box set. And then they announced Quinn Lord, who played Sam in Trick or Treat. And that was a whole thing. So I got a Trick or Treat DVD specifically so he could sign it, right? But as I'm looking at it at home, the day before the convention, it's not in English. The cover's not in English. I don't know if it's in Spanish or what. So I look at my husband. when we're at the convention, because it's too late now. I can't replace the DVD. I look at him, I'm like, does this look like it's in Spanish? My husband was like, oh no. So my bright idea, as I do, is I walk up to Quinn's table. I'm like, Quinn, I need you to do something for me. I need your help. He looks at me like scarred. He's like, okay, what do you need? Total sweetheart, by the way, for going along with this. I said, can you tell me if this DVD is in English or Spanish? So he's looking at it. He's like, oh no. And he's Googling it. But yeah, apparently the DVD may or may not be in French. I don't know if it's French and English. I don't know if it's just French. So yeah. Fun story. He autographed it though, so that's cool. So it's fine. Either. Hello? So my dad and I used to watch The Walking Dead when I was younger. And when I moved out, it became less consistent because, of course, schedules and stuff. But we would watch it every Sunday. And it was like our little bonding time. I haven't finished the show because I didn't like what they were doing with the show. And I know it sounds so annoying because I finished the comics. I'm like, it's not the comics. And I know it's not supposed to be the comics. They're going to switch stuff up. But there's just some things that cannot be changed. Like, it completely changed the show. And not for the better. But my dad still watches it. So I was like, okay. Well, Ross Marquand and Michael Cudlitz are going to be there. I'm going to get him a little something. So I ended up getting my dad an autograph from Michael Cudlitz because my dad loved Abraham. Absolutely loved him. And R.I.P. And Ross Marquand was doing the voice notes. He was doing voice notes. I said, hey, my dad was supposed to be here. Would you mind recording a voice note for him so I could send it his way? And then he said, hey, do you want to take a picture with me and we can send it to your dad? I was like, sick. I didn't pay for that though. I wouldn't want him to think I paid for that and then give it to me for free and I look like a freeloader. So I was like, I didn't pay for a picture. He was like, it's okay, it's chill. And so we took a few pictures to send to my dad and my dad loved it. He said, my only complaint is he has both arms. You know, dad humor. He was a total sweetheart. Both of them were. Michael Cudlitz and Ross Marquand were total sweethearts. But I didn't spend a lot of time at Michael's booth, you know. I just got the thing, exchange highs. I was like, I really appreciate you. He was like, oh, I appreciate you too, sweetheart. And I was like, okay. But the biggest celebrity we needed to meet was Derek Mears from Friday the 13th, 2009. Because I have this photo from 2009 when Friday the 13th was in theaters. I was 12. Yeah, I was 12. I was 11 or 12? I don't know. And I told my husband and my dad, I said, next time Derek Mears is in Richmond, I'm going to recreate this. I bring this picture up to, not the meet and greet, the photo op. And I say, hey, Derek, can we recreate this picture? And he was beaming. He was like, oh my God, I completely forgot about that. And he was showing the guy taking pictures. I was like, I don't know what you're doing with your hands or anything, but can we recreate? He was like, yeah. So he's like trying to get in position. He's got his arm around me, you know, and trying to like he's like, what is going on? And I was like, I think my hands are up here. I don't know what's going on. And eventually I look at him, I'm like, Derek, what the hell were you doing? He was like, I don't know. So we take the picture. He was like, oh my gosh, it looks so good. It's so good. He was so stoked. I said, I'm gonna come get it autographed. He's like, all right. And then Derek leans over to the guy and tells him, hey, her autograph is on me. Like, don't charge her for it. I was in awe because I don't go up expecting like, oh, I brought this really cool relic from the past. I need special treatment. You know, maybe I can get it for free. No, I just thought it was just like a really fun opportunity to like recreate something. He told the guy, he was like, don't take her money. Like, this is on me. And I was just standing there like, are you kidding me? Derek Mears is paying for my autograph. Well, paying. He's not taking my money. And so I go up to them, and we're like just talking. He said, oh my gosh, it turned out so good. We're just like laughing. And he was telling me that that poster wasn't even him. He said, yeah, and then the way the aspect ratio and stuff with Photoshop, the head looks huge, the body, like they took a head and a body and morphed it together, and then the head looked too big for the body. And I was like, no, but you don't understand. That was top tier Photoshop in 2009. I was like leaning down. I look like a fucking schoolgirl with that man. But I know I don't have pictures to prove it, but I know I was, because I was leaning on his table like this. And I was like, because he's so charming. He is such a sweetheart. So I'm just like laying on the table like this, just looking up at him, like with dreamy eyes. Let me recreate how I was looking at him, okay? So like, we're just, imagine there's a table. I'm like, you're my first edition of Fangoria, by the way. Like, I bought it because I had a huge crush on you when I was 12. And so yeah. And he started laughing. He was like, oh my gosh, you're such a sweetheart. I was like, yeah, you were right behind Robert Englund. And that's a very high spot to be in, behind Robert Englund. And we started talking about Robert. He was like, have you met him? Yeah, I said, yeah, I just met him this year. And we were talking about him. We were fangirling over him. He's like, this is my life. I was like, I can't believe this is my life. He saw the original picture that I printed out, too. He was like, hey, do you want this sign, too? I was like, I didn't pay for that. He said, well, you didn't pay for the other one either. I was like, you're right. You're right. So he signed both our photo op and the original picture. And he was like, do you want to take a picture? I was like, yeah. So we took a picture. We looked so cute. And he was like, do you want one of me choking you? I was like, yeah. Yeah, I do. So we took one. And he said, alright, back to normal. No lawsuits. I said, it stays between us. And he laughed. I made him laugh so much. He's such a laughy, giggly person. I love him. It was a great day. It was so good. Like, everyone I met was so sweet. It was, Nightmare Weekend 2025. Top tier. Amazing. Now I'm here. Now it's Halloween. I took off from work. Robert Englund's getting his star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. I'm going to watch Freddy vs. Jason. And hand out candy if we get trick-or-treaters. I don't know if we're going to get trick-or-treaters. My logic is, it's a Friday, so we might get more people because it's not school night. And also, if we don't have candy, we're gonna get trick-or-treaters. So we have candy, but we make sure to buy candy that we like anyway. So if we don't get trick-or-treaters, we're still gonna eat the candy, you know. Now, I would love to do more like knickknacks and like non-edible things, but I don't want to be stuck with like 50 slap bracelets or like 50 little tubes of slime. That's all that I've done this year. It was fun sitting here, eating my breakfast, catching up. I don't want to guarantee videos. It's just kind of whenever I feel like it. But I thought I was cute. I dressed up cute. I did my makeup cute. And why not catch everyone up on my life? So yeah, I hope you guys have a happy Halloween. I hope everything goes safely and smoothly. I hope y'all get tons of candy if you're going out. I hope you're not left with a tons of candy if you're staying in. Yeah, so just have a good one. Glad I got to talk to you for a little bit, and bye-bye.